Nice to see you again. How are you all? Welcome to this weekly Q&A in my company. This week, it's about the planet Ganymede, one of the moons of Jupiter. Ganymede is the biggest moon in our star system, and we can say a proper planet because imagine it's bigger than Mercury, for instance. Ganymede has its own electromagnetic field, has its own atmosphere. It has loads of water, oceans underground, under a frozen crust, and mountains, and it's quite rocky, frozen, super cold, but rocky. It's in the vicinity of the supergiant Jupiter. An amazing, amazing presence. And tonight I am going to tell you about my experience with Ganymede. There are a few days ago, Michael Sala, Dr. Michael Sala, on his YouTube channel and his website, exopolitik.org, published a video and an article about an interview. He was interviewing me about my experience on Ganymede and also my contacts with the Intergalactic Confederation and the Nine. So tonight it's about you asking me questions about all this. So that's where we are here. I'm going to put my 3D glasses to read your questions in a minute. I thank you in advance for your donation through the Super Chat. I am not going to privilege the Super Chat questions, but I welcome the donations because I think everyone is entitled, even for free, to ask questions. So that's it. Oh, before I start, I always do a book review at the start. So this time I do not have a physical book to show you because I ordered this book on internet and I haven't yet received it. But I want to take the opportunity of tonight to really recommend these books. This book is named The Only Planet of Choice. The Only Planet of Choice, from Phyllis Schlemmer. You have the description and the references in the description box of this video. Why I do recommend this book, The Only Planet of Choice? Because this is off topic with tonight. Phyllis Schlemmer channeled the Nine Collective. And Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was present and even asked questions. And the question and answer of Gene Roddenberry and the Nine are described and all transcribed in his book. So I really recommend everyone to read this, The Only Planet of Choice. You will understand how Star Trek is not just a fantasy. It's not, anyway. It's soft disclosure. As the Nine confirmed to me, Star Trek is a bridge between the past and the future. I'm going to go through again the historic of events regarding to my experience. So in October 2020, I was taken to Ganymede physically. It's in my book, We Will Never Let You Down. I describe it. I was accompanying Thorhan, who was meeting a Ginvo officer. The Ginvo are a race who are part of the Council of Five, and they have, as many others have, a facility on Ganymede. So I was accompanying him here, and I could really I can describe to you. I described to Michael in the video, but I can describe to you again. Um, the air was different in this facility. It was a little bit smell of vinegar or acidic, but that was how the atmosphere was there, and it was totally breathable, just different, and not harmful to my lungs. The Ginvo are very quiet and gentle people. They are very calm, slow moves. They're a little bit smaller than us, and they have a bigger head, thinner neck, and they have a brown skin with some patches sometimes. Very nice people. So Thorhan was meeting this officer to give him data, and together they opened a holographic dome where there was inside a holographic representation of the galaxy and like routes and dots and data and coordinates. They were preparing something I wasn't supposed to know. And I didn't know because they were talking half in a strange language, I think the Ginvo language probably, and half telepathically, so I couldn't. But now I know. Well, all leads to me to think that they were preparing the incoming arrival of the Intergalactic Confederation. So 1 year later, nearly day for day, on October 4th, 2021, not so long ago, Thorhan contacted me by telepathy to tell me that the Intergalactic Confederation had arrived in our star system. And they were going to station between in the vicinity of Jupiter, between Jupiter and the moon Ganymede. And all the officials would be welcome to stay in a Ganymede facility. The Intergalactic Confederation has a facility there already. It's an outpost for observation of our star system, I suppose. And all the logistics and personnel were welcome in the bigger facility of the Ashtar Command in the upper atmosphere of Jupiter. So that's how they could just leave their ships and just relax, I suppose. So that was it, and they are here, the Intergalactic Confederation, to evaluate the potentiality of civilian contact, which is planned, and it is going to happen. So we were going to talk about this. I trust you have a lot of questions about this, the Intergalactic Confederation. So I was then invited on their ship on the 12th of October. This last 12th October. It was my first contact with them. So I advise you to watch Michael Sala's video. It's all described. I tell everything in it. So that's it. And I was taken on board, invited on board the mothership. I met with 5 different races. These people are races I've never seen before. Well, the Egoni look like a lot the Pleiadians are here. So it was, yeah, but the other ones, I never seen them, people like this. So I described them well in Michael's video. And I am available for answer some questions. So I then had, I had two contacts with them. I went twice on board their ship. Then something extraordinary happened on November 3rd. On November 3rd, a tall white lady from the Intergalactic Confederation, from the Cedars, beamed into my room, and she put me in contact with the Nine. And that was an extraordinary experience, which I spoke about also in this video with Michael. And then this contact with the Nine where they confirmed that Star Trek was a bridge they had seeded in the past to anchor a timeline, a positive timeline, to make a bridge for the future. So then on November 9, well, I had before, I had then other data I received from the 9. And on November 9, Thoran confirmed to me by message that the Earth, our planet, well, this planet, had entered officially a probation period to join membership with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They were watching us now, and we need to do our proofs. As Ardana announced in her message a few weeks ago, they've done their job, the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Now it's ours to do our job here on Earth, stand up against the tyranny and stand in our sovereignty. That's what we need to do. That's the last step. And once we'll have grown up and taken our sovereignty back, well, the probation period will be probably over and we enter membership. It is only a question of time because the future is with them, with the Federation. So, you know, they can look at the future, they can know everything that's going to happen. And this timeline is super stable and super secured. So, the near future is the Earthlings, member of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and then prime directive regarding to stage 2 civilization won't apply to us anymore. We will be stage 3 and part of them now, and you know, free sharing of technology, etc., etc., etc. And my last contact was in November 26th when Thorhan brought me on board the battleship of the Galactic Federation of Worlds on orbit of Earth to show me the plants that were prepared to be offered to Earth at the occasion of the official civilian contact. So it's really happening, you know, they wouldn't go to the trouble. So now that's a reminder of the facts. And well, I am available to answer your questions now. And so I'm going to put my 3D glasses and fish for questions about Ganymede, the Nine, the Intergalactic Confederation. So there's okay, there was a good question here from Mitch. Here we go. Mitch asked, how do they know the future of Earth? Is it because they know the human governments and militaries plans years before? Well, you know, they have all these ETs, and even the Earth military have devices and technology able to see the future. The past also, but we're more interested in the future. To see the future. So it has been a temporal war until now. You know, for instance, what's a temporal war? You hear this term a lot. What's a temporal war? A temporal war is, I give you an example, you'll understand what it is. Okay, for instance, the Galactic Federation destroys a gray or Orion Nebu Gray mothership and they lose. Okay, well, the friends of this gray Nebu mothership, their mates, are going to go back in time and try to impeach, you know, stop the Galactic Federation to destroy this ship because suddenly they know they're going to destroy it. So they're going to try to stop it, change the events, the course of events. That's what a temporal war is. You know what's going to happen. So you're going to go to the past and change the past to affect the future. So that's what a temporal war is. It's a real mess. It's very difficult from linear thinking to encompass this concept of linear, of temporal wars. Uh, they have technology. We can call them looking glass. Looking glass. It's the name of a device that has been given to the Earthlings by the buddies to help them. Oh, also by the goodies. The Federation has also given these devices to different factions. When they learn the enemy gave a device to the dark ones, they're going to give the same technology to the good ones for the balance. That's how it works. Balance. I've seen one of these technologies on board a ship. It was a Meton ship from Proxima Centauri. And I could look in the future. And in fact, it was driven by my mind. I was uh, connecting my mind to tuning my mind to this this it was a tube cylinder with moving liquid in it, and the fact that I focus my mind on this liquid, the liquid would change into pictures, and I would just focus on a year, and the more precise was the date, the better it was working, because it needs a quantum dot. So quantum connections, so you need to be very precise. So I did that, and I could see the future, and I made a video about that. That's how they know. That's how they know. um okay, that's another question that is very relevant from Jose or Jose. uh, Jose asks, Elena, when you say that you are brought up to the intergalactic confederation battle starship, oh, there's a bit of mix here. Okay, do you mean in spiritual form or in third dimensional physical form? Okay, it's always in physical form. Always in physical form. Yeah. So intergalactic confederation is a groupment of different cultures from many different galaxies. They're huge, intergalactic confederation. And galactic federation of worlds, it's only in our galaxy, in this galaxy. And the battleship, when I refer to the battleship of the Federation, it's where Thorhan works. It's on orbit of Earth, and it's the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So that's to answer your question. Another question? Um, so I don't see. Yes. So Jeremy says Star Trek Enterprise describes this type of thing quite well. That's it. That's it, Jeremy. You nailed it. I invite you to watch the Star Trek series. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is very important because there are so much disclosure in it, and it speaks about a wormhole. It speaks about the nine and the I don't remember the extraterrestrials who have the kind of wrinkled nose, the Bajorans. They are like the Earth in probation period to enter the Federation. That's exactly the same, and they just liberated themselves from the Kardashians' reptilian species. So it's absolutely mind blowing. Mind blowing. That's where we are. That's where we are at the start of season 1, Deep Space Nine. I invite you to watch this season 1, first episode, Deep Space Nine. That's where we are now. Okay. The reference also of Deep Space Nine with my experience with the Nine. For the Trekkies, um, Deep Space Nine is about a space station. That's the name of the space station, which is in the vicinity of a wormhole. I remind that a wormhole is a black hole without a singularity. You don't need to pass through. It's a vortex. It's a portal. Yeah, also. Anyway, and in the wormhole, there are the prophets or the gods, and they are totally exactly how I met them. They do not have any human shape. They are just pure consciousness, and to address people they take human shape. They borrow human shape and they create any shape they want. It's exactly what I lived through. I was my consciousness, not my physical body, okay? My consciousness was projected in the void. And there was a big vortex that was inside of my I think my pineal gland was the portal. And I went through this and I was projected in the void through the portal, the wormhole. And I was in their presence. My consciousness was expanded infinitely because in this void there is no space. It's like infinite, infinitely existent and non existent at the same time. It's nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Bear with me because it's very difficult to encompass this idea. And English is not my first language, and I have difficulty sometimes to express but what I want to say. But in this case, it's beyond my um, incapacities in English language. It's beyond words. Okay, I try to describe. My consciousness entered in contact, in mergence with another, their consciousnesses, and one detached from the group, and they were manifesting visually like sparkly, sparkly light, sparkles. Okay, one came towards me, a cloud of sparkle that condensed into a humanoid shape, and it was masculine. He invented, just made up a random humanoid shape that I could relate to have an interlocutor. That's when this being told me about the bridge, Star Trek being a bridge. And when I was propelled back through this vortex on Earth, I have to say, my life changed. You remember I asked you to be patient because I was withdrawing from social medias and especially YouTube just to process it. And of course, write about it. Encountering the consciousness of the Nine, it brushes your soul like like wind. All the emotional that aspect I needed to process. We are in constant process of emotional things. Okay, every day on in our life, it's a constant emotional process that we live through all through our life. So you always have emotional things that you and it all blew up. It just cleansed everything and opened everything, all the doors. I was like breathing by all the cells of my body and being. I cried for a week, the emotional cleansing, and I knew what it was, you know. Um, as I said, I think in Michael's video, because I am a shaman, I know this process. I know that when you encounter higher frequencies, higher being of a higher frequency, you need to allow the flow of your emotions to process. And so I let it go, and you need to really be brave and recognize this. So that's what happened. My encounter with the nine, and which is still happening. They left me quite mind-blowing messages, and the way they communicate is by flashes of awareness, and they send me the data about a subject, and it's like if I am in it, I am the subject. I totally merge with it. I attune with this, and then I process it, and I eventually write about it. And this is mind-blowing. So that's my experience with the nine. um, I'm gonna see if there are new comments. Star Trek expert. You need to start by the start, the original series, and go along. The movies are like, no. But the series go by the start. I do not like the last one. It's like the Hollywood cabal messed it up. The last Star Trek, the last series, the Klingon have totally different face. It's like so PC, it's annoying. So, to my opinion, the last series, the most recent ones, don't bother. Don't bother. I had a very bad feeling about it. But all the other ones before, it's soft disclosure. I had been confirmed that, a plan was to be unfolded. A plan of soft disclosure through Star Trek was to be unfolded with time through the series. Because when in the 1960s, when the first series came, um, you know, um, people on Earth weren't ready for some type of disclosures. For instance, the nine. Oh my God, things like this. The Earth was still, in a very constricted frame of mind in the developed world and non less developed worlds. A lot of judgment and religious thing. So there was a plan to give the information spread on time, on a length of time. So sometimes you have an information, and in another series you will have another information. The prime directive as well was given apparently later, not at the start, things like that. Yeah. Well, Michael Sala is a great specialist. So ask him. uh, so okay, Alexis has a very good question. Is it the void a parallel universe, or is it completely out of space and time? So the void is not a parallel universe. It's out of space and time. It's like behind the curtain. That's all I can say. It's infinite, but they can connect the nine. So they are plasmic supraconsciousnesses. They are one, but each nine has its own individuality. Okay, but they work together. They are same matrix of 9 supra-consciousnesses linked to each other. They can project their consciousness to anywhere in space, anywhere in time by connecting. Okay, they can take any shape. So yes, it's out of space and out of time. It is beyond the realm we experience. Yes, that's it. So galactic version of light doesn't exist. Where can I find Star Trek series online? Just it's very accessible in Netflix or others. Um, so there are yes, I see a lot of questions out of topic or Laiba always with your life-saving amazing questions. How many groups have bases on Ganymede? Could you share your experience there? Thank you. I think nearly everyone has a base on Ganymede. Why? Because Ganymede has an electromagnetic field, so it's good to maintain life, to maintain. I don't know. I know it has also to do with the technology they use there. If the planet has an electromagnetic field, it helps. I don't know why. Also, it has an atmosphere, and it's very handy because the whole it's not inhabited by on the surface by a civilization. There's no civilization on Ganymede, and really local. So they could take anyone could come here and take the ground. It's like a safe, not a safety zone, but a neutral zone. It's a neutral zone in our star system. Okay, not the baddies, not the greys, not the reptilians. No, 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 no. Need the good people there. Um, so there are okay surface non-habited by any civilization. Under the surface, it's water, a lot of water, a lot of oceans. These oceans are populated by creatures, different levels of intelligence. So they respect this. So they will cohabit with these creatures under the oceans by underwater bases. Most of the bases have a little bit of structure on the top of it, on the surface, but the most of them is underground, either uh, in the rocky crust or either going in the sub-oceanic places. When the first time I arrived on Ganymede, I was in Thorhan command ship. We were heading towards the Ginvo facility, which was in the northern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, a little not far from the pole. We went there, and as we went down on the surface, it was really brownish. The atmosphere was kind of opalescent white, and as we flew over, there were constructions, different types of constructions. There will be like a cluster of buildings. There will be like pointy structures and flat roofs, and then somewhere else in another valley, there would be domes and other type of buildings. So you could see it was different groups, different architectures. So the Ginvo facility was a few domes efflorescing on the surface, and we went into a tunnel and under a dome and then in a well, and we were in an underground base in the landing bay. So that's my arrival on Ganymede. So I hope it answers your questions. Of all the places I visited, what was my favorite? I liked Venus. I liked Venus. I liked it, yeah. Of course, I like the mothership, the station, the gardens, the battle station of the Federation where Thorhan works. I like that. But as a place, a planet, I liked Venus. And although I I don't like to be in the Ashtar command base on Jupiter because the security is too much for me. I like Jupiter. I like Jupiter. I like the radiance. I like to fly by Jupiter. I would go around if I had my own ship. I would go around and just chill out, like put automatic pilots and just like chill out, watching Jupiter out the window and just it's so mind blowing the power of it, the presence. So yeah, I haven't been out of this star system. I've been only inside, and I pick Venus. So oh, good question, Vincent. Vincent says, I have seen a black manted being. Any thoughts on this particular race? Yes. The black manted beings are good ones. They are positive ones. Well, positive. They have more ethics than the green and the white ones. But they're all part of the same culture. They come from galaxy far, far away, which is the case. They are the mantids, the Akara mantid. They are part of the Intergalactic Confederation. They are part of it. Yes, they are geneticists. They are master geneticists. They are very good. You know, all these cultures, they're way more ancient than any human cultures in this galaxy. I say human cultures. There are other more ancient cultures in this galaxy than the human ones, but we're talking about the humans, us. The Intergalactic Confederation, to give you what the Cedar races, the 24 Cedar races, they have, I've been told they are in average 20,000 years in advance technologically upon Earth. They are some, these 24, it's like a group that decided to work together to to spread life in the universe and to create new races, populate worlds. I don't know exactly why they have this passion, but they work for source, they work for life. The mantids are part of them. You have the Egon with Egoni. They are blonde people. You have these ones, I don't know the name. They have their name is a frequency. Thorhan calls them the Do, but it's just translation. Do means guardian in Tami, so it's not a real name. I recently learned that the Nine, in their channeling to Phyllis Schlemmer, spoke about the Altian, and Altian being these tall, white, luminescent beings. So it really matches with the tall whites and the tall white lady who is more in contact with me, the Altians. So that matches. I think it may be the same people. And can't wait to read this book. Uh, and I've seen also the Patal. Ta-da, the Patal. The Patal are a race, but then the name Patal has been used to encompass all of them, the cedar races, you know. So we can't call the cedar races the Patal, but the Patal or Ptal, the original race, humanoid, they're like 9 feet tall. They have, they look like the Kaminoans in Star Wars, the Clone Wars. caminine ones, and they have long neck, high head. They're very graceful. They're beautiful. I've seen a race that resembles the Ferengi in Deep Space Nine, but human size. I've seen also, they are nothing to do with the Ferengi, but they look like them. It's to give you references. And I've seen also small grays, and they had their eyes very close to each other, very close. It was like in Britain, never seen this before. You know, I'm often asked who are the 22 races who are involved in the human genome on Earth. Well, Oithorange never gave me the whole of them names because at least the half of them is not from this galaxy and have names that I can't pronounce, that he cannot translate in my language, you know, such as the beings I met. And that's why. So that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And okay, questions. Yes, I'm writing another book. So someone asked, okay, someone asked this question, Komodo dragon. Will you be making another book regarding to these 24 races whom seeded humans? Are the Mayans and Zulu part of these races? Are they part part of the Intergalactic Confederation? So I've never heard any extraterrestrial races named Mayan or Zulu. It's names made up on Earth. The Mayans were culture in South America. Okay, they had contact with a race from Capella. I don't remember the name. Yes, but Maya wasn't their name. It's in my book, A Gift from the Stars. I may find them very quickly. Yes, here are they. The Ramai, or Ramay. Okay. Whoops. The Mayans were in contact with them, or Nakal, Ramai or Nakal, so not Maya. Maya, it's Earth name, and the Zulu, it's a name of tribes in South Africa, I think so. I mean, no extraterrestrial races have names made on Earth. So that will be, with my humble knowledge, my answer to your question. This is an interesting question. Peggy, from Peggy Conley. Regarding to the 9 supra-consciousnesses, when humanity evolves, do we at some point become a supra-consciousness? Or can we keep our bodies like the Pleiadians and stay at the density we prefer? So it's not the same thing. The 9 are out of the cycle of incarnations because they are not of the same soul matrix as the humans. I suppose one day we may become supra-consciousnesses in our own soul matrix, but not like the 9. That's different things, okay? We can choose to incarnate in anybody we want afterwards, after we leave this body, so we can incarnate in a Pleiadian body, whatever the Pleiadian race. We can incarnate into a Grey to have a great experience. we can choose. Free will is also it's a greater law in the universe, in any plane. So okay, I don't see questions about Ganymede. So what can I tell you about? Well, Okay, no questions on my experience on Ganymede or the Intergalactic Confederation? Okay, no. So what I can tell you about, well, I think that's it, isn't it? Patrick has a question. Oh, someone asked if there are animals on Ganymede. Yes. I don't know on the surface. It can be possible on the surface because there's an atmosphere. I know about the animals underground, under in the oceans. They are big, big mammals. As we speak about that, we can speak. I can tell you about the way certain races, like the tall whites, for instance, communicate. Some races don't give their name, give us a name because their names and their language is sound frequencies for the auditive part. And then you have an aspect which is telepathy. So they are going to send um, modules made of structure with frequencies. It's like holographic language carried by frequency waves, frequency codes. And each, I call it a module. So how do you receive this? Okay. So you have this being in front of you and you feel a connection in its Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Give us back, Elena, or pay the price. Yes. Thank you, Emer. Okay, yes. We have little problems of internet. We've had a big bad storm here. So I was saying the way it is being communicated, they send you a message by modules carried by holographic module carried by frequency to your mind. So you hear like whales or like dolphins frequency sound, but it's agreeable. And you receive a patch, holographic patch in your mind that contains images, stories, uh, and voices also. So that's how it works. And once the story and the information is delivered, they send you another one. And that's how they communicate. That was more the communication I had with the tall whites, the Altians, as I learned their names via um, actually people who read The Only Planet of Choice. Obviously, the nine called them like this. So the description was the same. So I suppose it's their name. I'll get that confirmed. The Altians, let's call them like this. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's like waves, carrying data. So that's interesting. Another question. I tried to see if there are other questions. A question here. How long were you on Ganymede and what's the best thing you saw there? Oh, yes. Yes, I know. I stayed a few hours the first time. The second time I went there, we only flew above it. We didn't land. So the first time and the only time I landed on surface actually in this Ginvo base when I was accompanying Thorhan to meet this Ginvo officer. So I stayed a few hours, maybe. Well, I have to say the trip way and back maybe I experienced it like 4 hours. 4 hours. I experienced it like this, but time can just shift. Um, After the best thing I saw on Ganymede, I thought it was the holographic dome representing the galaxy first. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to remember that all my life. This is so beautiful. And Thorhan and the officer Ginvo, they were putting their fingers and their hands in it, and the hands and with their finger they were moving lines and curves. It was really impressive. The electromagnetism of the body, it can interfere in the holograms. That's how you can. I've experienced that in a ship, piloting a ship, where you have holographic screens that appear, and you put your finger in it and you move stuff. It's just your electromagnetic field I've been explained that moves the stuff. It's very interesting, very interesting. So I thought it was that, but then after the meeting, Thorhan took me to a recreational area. There was a bar, a little bar in Ganymede. Yes. Um, there were so many different races. So when I go on the Galactic Federation of Worlds ships, there are such areas. So I recognize all the races. There, I could spot some of them, but not all. There were different races. So probably from other galaxies. And that's when I thought, oh yeah, that's the best thing I will keep from my trip on Ganymede, because you know what? I saw humans from Earth there too. Militaries military, they were speaking English. Someone asked me recently what was their accent. It was American accent. American accent. It wasn't English accent. That's the only difference. It wasn't Australian, it wasn't South African, it wasn't English. It was American. So then that's all I can say. Some were wearing like military tracksuits, would say, and some others blue uniforms. And these uniforms were not uniforms I've seen on Earth. They were humans. You can tell humans from ETs. Uh, you can. They were wearing blue uniforms, like navy blue, and with stripes, black stripes on the shoulders here, and black color. With black here too. It's very funny because it copies quite well the Ahil uniforms. That's which are the uniforms of the Federation. That's really very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. That yeah, fascinating, fascinating. There's an interesting element here, you know. So that's the best thing I saw on Jupiter was this recreational area. Um, So when you went on Ganymede, was it with your physical body or more with your etheric body? Did you eat or drink there? Yes. So it was with my physical body, of course. Um, and I drank something which was, it's always the same thing. I'm served ionized drinks. It's fuzzy. Um, it's blue, clear blue color. And it takes like lemonade bit, I'd say. And it makes you very dizzy. So I always have 2 sips and I'm fine with that. That's it. Um, what can I pick? Questions about Ganymede. Oh, um, someone asked, is this Janice? Has your diet changed since you have been in contact with the nine? Yes. Yes. My frequency shifted so high, uh, hence the emotional process, that I cannot take anything that is artificially processed. I wasn't eating meat since a while, but now even the smell of cooked meat just makes me sick. Yes, my diet changed. I eat less. Um, that's what I can say. Yes, I noticed a difference. Thanks for asking. It's interesting. Um, that's very interesting. How long does it take for your body to acclimate back to Earth? Um, I would say 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, where I feel quite dizzy. Um, with the Intergalactic Confederation, especially the Altians, I think that's their name, the tall whites, um, I felt sleepy. When they contact me, I start to feel sleepy, and I need to lie down, otherwise I know I'm going to fall asleep on the on the ground. So that's the difference of energy. And when I disconnect also I feel sleepy again. That's really weird. But well, the change of frequency makes me sleepy. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So, Corinne asked an interesting question. The nine is different from the Council of Nine. Thank Corinne. I wanted to bring this topic. There are so many different councils in this galaxy and beyond, and real ones and non-real ones, if you know what I mean. Um, the nine collective, the nine, it's not really a council. A council will be a place where you are going to discuss events or to take decisions, okay? Usually, a council is at the head of a structure, such as the Andromedan Council is at the head of this galaxy. Okay? Then the Federation, Galactic Federation of Worlds, has its own council, which interestingly is made of 25 people, representatives of the highest, the most advanced culture in the Galactic Federation of Worlds. The Cedar races, they are 24 culture work at seeding life. The Galactic Federation of Worlds of Nataru, our galaxy, they have a high council of, well, Thorhan says 24 plus 1, and he changes the 1, so it's 25, but 1 will, they turn at their turn, it's like the United Nations. 1 will be up, leading the others up, 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 and they change. as musical chairs. So that, and you have the Council of Five, which was before the Council of Nine. These ones are um, where Anax is part of. They were created in the Orion Zone by the Elmanuk to withstand the invasion of the Nebu. Um, that's what I know. But then there's a lot of little minor councils and organizations. So many. So I like this question because I want to bring up something. Many people have asked me regarding to the nine. Okay, the nine I was put in contact with. This plasmic supraconsciousness is living in the void. Is not has nothing to do with any of the Council of Nine or Nine Collective or blah 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 that many people have pretended channeling until now. There are other groups of nine, and I don't know how many there are, but it's not these ones, okay? Uh, I know I've been asked, is it the same nines that Marina Jacobi and Pixie Magenta are channeling? Uh, no, these ladies, wonderful ladies that I respect very much, are in contact with different things, okay? It's not the same thing. We are not in contact with the same entities. I want to make it clear to clear confusion. We are not working with the same entities. Um, okay. Um, okay. Any other questions about what meetings are on Ganymede now? Yeah, good one. On Ganymede now is being decided how the Intergalactic Confederation is going to manage the civilian contact. I always thought that the civilian contact would be with the Galactic Federation of World first. No, it will be with the Intergalactic Confederation. They come for that. It's very impressive. Why? Because listen, the Galactic Federation of World, he's already in contact since the 1950s with the army and the white hats governments. You know, the Earth Alliance, Solar World, and everything. It's just the civilians that are not yet. Um, so the Intergalactic Confederation is just preparing it and putting the plan in action. It's going to be an accelerated soft disclosure. It's going to happen very soon. They are discussing that, watching us. Many people have been angry. Why disclosure is not now? We are too impatient. Yeah, I'm too impatient too, and Thorhan is very impatient too. We all are impatient to be together. Yes. Why is it slow and soft? It has its reasons, which are not create chaos, do it in a very sensible way, that it happens in peace and in calm energies. But first, we need to know, to keep in mind, that nothing will happen until we will have sorted out our problems. As Ardana said in the message she gave me a few weeks ago, it is now in our hands to finish the job, to stand out against the corruption, to grow up, taking ourselves in charge and standing up for our rights and learning how to say no. That's what they wait. They are waiting for that we do that. Because anyone that tells you, wait, that the deities are going to save you, wait, that there's a cosmic event that's going to save you, takes your power away. The ETs have taken care of the ET problem, okay? Humans need to take care of the human problems. That's how we grow up and we become adult as a species, as a culture, to join the Federation. You know, as long as we will kneel under tyranny, religion, power, anything, we won't be grown up enough to be part of them. We need to to act and to stand up for our rights. That's what they're waiting for, you know? Because if they come here, there's so many people kneeling uh, in front of what some governments tell them to do. If the good ETs are coming officially, all these people, they will kneel in front of them. Oh my God! No! It is when humanity of Earth will have globally, uh, globally embraced their sovereignty and stood up as a sovereign culture and race that they come. And we need to stand as equal, because being part of a galactic federation of worlds, okay, is being considered as equal with everyone else that's in it, sharing technology, sharing everything, okay? As long as we will think of them like superior saviors, that won't happen. We need to embrace our next step, which is what we say, Homo Galacticus. Members of the Federation consider ourselves like it. You know? Stop arguing with each other, uniting, and stop complying to, you know what? That's all they are waiting for that. So it's in our hands. So we must stop complaining. When will they come? Why don't they come now? Stop. Stop. You have a job to do. It's to stand up against the tyranny and stand into your sovereignty. That's the only way we're going to move on, honestly. So do it. That's what I want to say. But the future is bright. If they are here, it's because they know it's going to happen. They are preparing for that. And that's what's been discussed at the moment on Ganymede. How they're going to do that, you know? And stop saying some people, we need to see proofs, okay? If you wait to see for a proof that something exists, will never make it happen. Okay? It's in our hands. It's really, honestly, in our hands. Um, oh, that's a good question. I like this one. Um, did the Ganymede bar uses money? I'm thinking of the bar and gambling on Deep Space Nine, run by the Ferengis. No, it wasn't run by Ferengis. Actually, there were androids, like robotic androids at the bar. And I didn't see any money. It's like everything was free. Yeah, everything was free. There was no transaction when Thoran went there, and he didn't speak even to the androids. He passed his hand. Probably select what he wanted. I don't remember. I don't know what he did. I was sat and I was watching him pass his hand on the counter, and the android brought the drinks, and that's it. At any moment, Torhan scanned any device in his body or gave anything. It just pressed pads on the counter. That's it. So no, I didn't see any money. There isn't any money exchange in the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And it was a galactic, well, it was a Council of Five facility, but they functioned like the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Um, they do not have money. They have a currency, which is energy. I don't know more about that. It's quite a quantum thing. I don't know. Thoran explained it to me, but it's quite complicated. They do not have, it's not a money. Then people from outside of the federation can trade with the federation. And if these people have money, the federation can they have these currencies they can give to them in exchange, things like this. But that's only to trade with people from outside. Okay, within the facilities of the federation or the Council of Five, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. So this is it's like free. Everything is free when you are member of this thing. That Pete answer. So we are approaching an hour and a half. I'm going to close soon. Your question doesn't show. Oh, here we go. So I spoke about the holographic screen. Yes, I saw anti-gravity platforms floating in the corridor where we landed. Well, there was a landing bay. We got out of the ship by a ramp, walking down, and that's when the air was like I had a bit of a panic attack with the difference of the atmosphere. Um, and then, yeah, me in space, yeah. And then there was a corridor in the front, and there were two floating platforms and people on it. I saw that. Yes. So they use anti-gravity to go faster in the facility. Yeah. So I saw that. Um, so here we go. I think I'm going to leave you now because it's been an hour and a half, and so I'm writing a lot about this, and I, I'm writing to offer books to humanity with my drawings and everything. They are not free because it's retribution for my time, my effort, and my sacrifice. But in counterpart, anything I say in my books, I put it available for free in my videos and Q&As. So there is no money gate. I need to say this because this is something important. The positive beings who work with humans for humanity of Earth will never tolerate that the emissaries retain information by a financial gate, by a profit money gate, okay? When we are, it is tolerated that we sell books, but at the condition that the content is also available for free throughout, videos or presentations. So that's the counterpart. There is no money gate. There is no uh, information blocked by money. That's otherwise they cut you straight away. So that's why, although I'm writing books, I am freely talking about what I'm writing to you in the video, so you know it's accessible and you can ask me anything. I will never retain anything for money. So that's something I want to precise. So okay, when you have to pay for information, that's something wrong. Here we go. So I recommend that you watch my video about the nine I did a little while ago on my channel. I recommend also that you watch Michael Sala's latest video, the interview he did of me. And I know he was in the chat tonight. Hi, Michael. Yes, you watched, you behave. And I want to thank my two wonderful, amazing troll slayers, Tina and Stephanie. And I will talk to you next week. Next week is a Q&A about preparing the solstice. What is the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere? What does it correspond to in the cycles of nature and the cycles of people? Let's talk about this, and it will be more the druid and the shaman who will talk to you. Me. I thank you all for your lovely energies. And now I invite you to watch the new outro credits that I made especially for you, and enjoy it. It's always living with high vibrations, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful future. Enjoy the dance.